Hey guys, Jessica here. It is, let's see, last week was my 4 month um update. Sorry, it's been a long day. I'm a little spacey. It was my 4 month update, and at the time I was at 258. Now I'm at 254, so I've lost 4 pounds this week. Yay! Right on. Um, and it's I have some weeks where I don't lose anything, and then I have other weeks where it's like just this huge jump, and it's just so odd. And I mean, being at 254, I have to say, like, this is almost like a break and a plateau for me because last time I tried to lose weight, I lost 90 pounds. I went from 360 down to it was almost 360. I went down to 260. So it was 100 pounds that I lost, and I gained back another 50, and then I ended up having my surgery. But I had gotten down to 260, and then that became like the plateau area, and I sat there for months and months and months and months, and then it started to creep back up. So in a way, I would say that that's probably an improvement. So I'm 6 pounds under that place where I was. So that's good. That's like getting over a little bit of a hurdle. But at the same time, I'm still, it's so funny. I'm getting a lot of compliments about my looks, and my weight loss. And it's not that I'm really bad at taking a compliment anyway, but and it's not that I didn't appreciate the compliments, because I do. I don't see it really. Maybe a little here or there. I've definitely become more concerned with my appearance. People can tell, obviously. I just feel better overall, and. Um, but I had belly dancing yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Had to fire off a lot of muscles, either that A, I've never used before in my life, or B, I just really haven't used in a long time, and that was quite a bit of work. But I can see myself getting addicted to it. It was a lot of fun, and even though, I spent the whole time being really self-conscious, and very intent, trying to get these moves down, it was still like, I kind of understood it a little bit better than I think last time I tried to take a belly dancing class. For one, that was years ago, and now I actually understand the concept of, my muscles and what I'm trying to isolate, and what movement I'm trying to gain from it. And then also the teacher, who's really nice lady, and she's been teaching for a long time. She was really careful to make sure that she was telling us what muscles we were trying to isolate, and she wasn't going too fast, which was really nice. So I'm going to do this 6 week course, and if I feel like I'm not ready to move up to intermediate, then I won't. I'll stick with beginner or do like a mixed class. But I can see myself really getting into this. So now it's like, great, I have this whole hobby that I need to think about, how I'm going to pay for that, because it's $55 for a 6 week course, which is, a lot cheaper than, the drop-in. Drop-in's like $15 a pop. So, but I'd like to be able to do it like twice a week for over the course of, those 6 week courses. So basically it's like $100 for 6 weeks worth of, 2 classes a week, which is not horrible. So I can make it work. And then my friend Crystal and Krista they're both doing it with me. And so it's really cool, to have my girls there and have something we can do every week. And, hopefully it's something that they'll want to stick with too. Cause it was super fun, even as hard as it was. And we were all sweating. It was just great exercise. I don't have a whole lot else to really update about. Sorry about my crazy all over the place hair. I just sort of felt a little festive today and wanted to do my hair and make it cute. Um, yeah, I'm doing pretty well overall. A little bit of hair loss. It doesn't look like it right now, but I have really thick hair to begin with, like I said in my last video. So it hasn't been a huge change, and I have extensions anyway, so I'm not really worried about it. Um, my arms. Yeah, and you can't tell. Let me move out of the way. You can't tell that much. It just kind of looks like a fat arm. But the thing is this is a lot of skin. That's mostly what all that is. Because, when I, do a bicep and you can't tell. Maybe I should have worn a different shirt, and then you can actually tell. But I've got some pretty strong bicep muscles here, and then I've been working my triceps and stuff. But now I'm finding that I'm having all of this little like kind of hangy skin because it's gross. It's like when I pull it down and then I show somebody like, look, well, you can't tell, but anyway, um, it's just it's weird because I can, if I pull down the skin, I can see the definition of my arm, especially when we were in our belly dancing class. And, I'm looking in the mirror and we've got our arms up and we're doing our thing, trying to move the arms around. And I'm noticing all this definition that I'm getting, in my pectoral muscles and my deltoids here and then in my biceps here. But then I have sort of this skin that's hanging down and I'm just really self conscious about it. And it looks really gross. And, um, so I don't really know what to do with that. Just take it as it is and keep trying to tone it up. And, my coworker Debbie, and she's a bodybuilder, and she was telling me today, she's like, it'll tone up, it'll get there. It just takes time. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that I can tone it up as much as possible and not have to get surgery there. I mean, I am losing a significant amount of weight. I mean, even just from my highest weight, I have lost 105 pounds. That's huge. I don't think I ever really put it into perspective before. Like I've lost over 100 pounds from the heaviest I've ever been. And when I got my surgery, that was not the heaviest I'd ever been. I was still sitting at, well, 320. I was still sitting at a 40-pound loss, which at this point now it's 105 pounds, and 65 pounds from surgery. And that's pretty big. And, let's see, if I'm at 254 now, that means I only have like 55 pounds to get, and then I'll be under 200, and that's huge. A lot of people, they have, this sort of goal, like I'm gonna get down to 180, blah blah blah, and 180 would be a good place for me. But honestly, just to get under 200 pounds would be huge for me. It would be so, I could be 199.999998, and I would almost just be happy there. Just because it's been so long since I've been under 200 pounds. Now, I have to tell you, like, I am tall, I'm 5'10". And so the way that my weight looks on me compared to somebody who's maybe like 5'3", 5'4", it's really different. So my insurance company, I guess, wants my BMI at a certain place, and, they said they wanted my goal weight to be something like, 145, 148, something like that. And I just laughed at them, like, seriously? I don't think so. If I get to 178, that would be like, that would probably be my limit. I would say 180 is probably the lowest I'm willing to go because I'm worried that I'm going to get too thin, and I don't want to get too thin. I already have hangy skin to deal with, and probably a year from now I'll be looking at probably plastic surgery to deal with that. Since I've had two children, and I had those two children when I was obese, I don't think that's ever going back. So I'm probably going to have to take care of that. Maybe my inner thighs too. We'll have to see. They're getting pretty loose too, just like my arms, and it's kind of gross. It's I know I should just be happy because I do look a lot better than I did, and I feel a lot better than I did. I think just people in general have a habit of just beating themselves up. We love to look at the negative, and I know I shouldn't be doing that. I should really be focusing on the cool stuff, I mean, I do feel more attractive, actually, I'm looking better and stuff. And I do notice that, if you have big lips, like when you're heavier, you can't tell as much, but like it's almost like the thinner you get, the bigger your lips look. I don't know if all the fat's like going into my lips or what, but yeah, never mind. Sorry. For whatever reason, I just keep thinking about that. When I see like celebrities who gain and lose weight, it seems to me like their lips get thinner and thicker, like depending on, that. And then the same thing goes for me. It's almost like my lip shape comes out more or something. I don't know. Never mind. It's my brain being weird. And I mean, for those of you watching, most of you probably know me, so you already know how strange I am to begin with. So my mind goes all over the place. I'm a little flighty. Anyway, so I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just going to keep working out, drink my water. This is my third one of these today. I've had 4 of these by now. I'm a little behind, and this is 33.8 ounces. So I try to drink 4 of these a day. 4. At the very least, 3 is my minimum, because 2 of them is 66 ounces, which is actually what they say you're supposed to drink, at least 64 ounces of water a day. I try to double that. I usually try to drink about a gallon of water a day. So 64 times 2, that, because 64 is half a gallon. So yeah, so right now, at the very, very least, I'm drinking about 100 ounces of water a day, and then when I can, I drink quite a bit more. So, yeah, that's about it. 128 ounces, that's a gallon. So, that's about how much water I attempt to get throughout the day. And some days I do it, some days I don't. I just really want to stress to everybody out there who gets gastric bypass, or even, I think the sleeve and the lap band as well. I think there's some, definitely some risk for dehydration, and I've had moments where I've gotten really dehydrated, and when you get that dehydrated, you don't feel well at all. You'll start retaining water like crazy. There was one point where I was so dehydrated I was peeing brown, and I considered going to the hospital, but then I started drinking a whole lot of water, and my kidneys are okay now and stuff. But that was, it was a couple months ago at this point, and I'm doing really well at this point. I eat, I don't know, I don't want to say like normal portions, but over the course of a certain period of time, like if I get a standard chicken breast, it's roughly about, I don't know, 6 ounces. And then mix that with maybe some grilled vegetables, like some onions and some spinach or something like that. I will end up probably eating that in 2 sittings, over the course of maybe a couple hours. Like I'll have like half the breast and eat some of the vegetables, and then, maybe an hour or so later, I'm hungry again, so I come back to it. I was just wondering, for those of you who have had gastric bypass or any other weight loss surgery, if you maybe, I don't want to feel like an anomaly here. I don't want to feel like I'm eating too much. So I guess what I'm trying to ask is, for those of you who have had the weight loss surgery, for those of you who are at least where I'm at or further, if you maybe can offer me some insight about like your eating habits at this point. I'm 4.5 months in, and I just want to make sure that I'm not overdoing it. I think I'm doing okay, but it almost feels like I can eat more than what they told me that I was going to be able to eat, and it's always been like that since day one. It's just there are foods I can tolerate and foods that I can't, and usually the foods I can't tolerate is basically crap that I shouldn't be eating anyway. So, anyway, I guess I should wrap this up because it's like going on 13 minutes now, and I'm just kind of babbling at this point. But I do still have that question. So those of you who have had the surgery, shoot me some comments, because I'd really, really, really like to know just kind of what your perspective is, and on your journey as well. And of course, I love to hear about your guys' progress. I get so excited to hear about other people going through this, because really it's so life-changing, and I can hardly describe, the things that are happening both inside and out. But those of you who've been through it, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I love you, and I'm so glad the election's over. Yeah, so back to real life. Now we can focus on 12/21/12. Anyway, whatever. Okay. All right. Well, peace out.